Good morning, everybody. I can't see you. The sun is in my eyes, and I'm filming into the sun. And I wanted to share with you what I'm up to this morning, because after I flooded the kitchen floor, and I'm a bad girl, I ran to my orchids. It was orchid watering day, and I didn't do it watering orchids, honest. But anyway, we have that plastic, not plastic, it's old vinyl, looks like wood but isn't, and it doesn't like water. So like blisters. So we're hiding and we're here, and I'm sharing some time with you. And what we need to talk about today is we're 2 months into the growing season. We still have a couple months at least to go. So now is a good time to assess your orchids, see how they're doing. We should be seeing signs of lots of root growth and leaf growth. And we should be looking at the all-over picture and what we have to change to encourage more leaf growth and root growth in our orchids. So I've got everything out here today, and I do want to show you some close-ups, things that I discovered about some of my orchids so that they're healthier. So I have my orchids that were in the house still being babied a bit, but they should still get some sun. But here in the daytime we're at least 100, especially in the glassed in solarium. All these windows open, but they have screens, so thank goodness we don't have bugs. And it's on the north side, so it's hottest about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but by 4 the sun is behind the house and it's shaded, so they don't mind it so much because it cools down in the evening, and that's important too. They get a break from that heat, and now they get to cool down. And as long as we're reaching high temperatures, they're not going to spike, supposedly. So let's discuss a change that I think I'm going to make. And if anybody wants to give me some ideas, I have my watering schedule, and I'm going to retype it and improve it a little bit. Not what I'm doing. I'm very happy with how I run my schedule. So it runs, I think it's 6 or 7 weeks long. Some of you are using my water schedule and have been lucky with it. And for me, it works great because there's only 3 days I actually use a bought fertilizer. The other days, they're getting CalMag. Today was CalMag and Epsom salts. And I have found I do need that extra Epsom salts about once a month, I'd say. Maybe a month and a half. It's getting the Epsom salts and the CalMag. And they also get black tea one watering day, and they get seaweed extract one watering day. They get a real flush one watering day. And on my water schedule, I explain that, so we won't go into it too much. Now, I have been using Schultz 1555, and I want to keep the important part of using this fertilizer, which is the high nitrogen. High nitrogen, the first number, is what is going to encourage that leaf growth. But the 5.5, I'm not that happy with. I'd love to see a high first number and a high last number. The last number being for all over growth and happiness. So health, all over health, maybe I should say. So I'm going to go on a hunt, and if anybody can help me, for the 3 waterings where it actually gets this fertilizer, and I change it in the fall, is I'm going to go on a hunt for a high nitrogen and high all over growth fertilizer. rather than this one. And I'm going to show you my orchids, and I'm going to show you maybe why I've been making that change. So this morning I mixed in this 3 liters. I put a 1/4 teaspoon of CalMag, added water, put a 1/4 teaspoon of Epsom salt and shook it up and add it to full. And I'd come out and I had them all out here and I watered them all once at a time. I actually did that twice for all the orchids. So they all get that, and then later after this video they will get a straight water too. So the Epsom salt is helping flush out salts that have accumulated from fertilizing that they did not use. So I think it's important, and I like to do it after the 3 fertilizer days, and then I use all organic stuff for the next time. So let's take a close look at each plant, and I'll show you how I assess my orchids and how you can assess yours to see if you have to make any changes. So I just got to get this out of here. It's a beautiful morning. It's going to be hot. We're on a hot spell. Not as hot as Europe or as back east, but just beautiful, really. So on this area here, Maggie, you stay with Mom. Stay with Mom. Stay. She's very good. So anyway, here are the ones that are left in the house because I'm waiting. Just find their babies, and I am hoping for some good signs inside. Now, Sherry Anna, I'm waiting to see some leaf growth. But here, I see she is growing. There is a growing tip there. And not as much as I'd like to see. So that is one thing I'm saying. I have her a little back from the sun because I don't want her to lose her markings. Now, these 2 are doing good, and there's lots of good roots in there, and there's no more pleating of the leaves, which is a sign of watering trouble. So they're staying where they are in the house, but their leaf color is good, and they seem to be doing really well. Now, this is the one that they were almost dead, and I was going to throw them away, and I put it in the basket. So it is still getting babied, and these are just beautiful. Just beautiful. I love this color. So one day I'm going to be showing you this, and it's going to be all flowers. But this here little leaf with kind of bumpy, this is a new leaf, but it's still showing signs that it did have stress. Now, the root growth I see is pretty good. They're green if I look under there, but that's what I see about that one, and one reason I'm keeping it in the house. Now, these were on their deathbed, and the leaves were split, and the last leaf it got, this is the one that's flowering, was still short and not well. So I'm still waiting for some leaf growth, but it decided it wanted to flower. So this is how you kind of assess each one. And when you have a lot of orchids, like I do, and they're all living in my house, not in the grow room, then it's easy to miss one. Or you might find some just need different care. So there's good root growth here, so that's good. These leaves are a little healthier than the others. This color looks good. I see a little scale right there, I think. In the sun, it's a very good time. So this one's getting a new leaf. So that is one reason it is inside. So this is Valsogo Vivian. She's my peloric orchid. She has a new leaf. She has signs of good root growth. And I often, too, just dig down. Don't be satisfied with just looking on the surface. She is losing these flowers, but she has a new one coming, plus a new leaf. So she's in the house. She's on the top shelf in the north window, but it's all glass. So, and of course, here is Georgia Pearl. That's my nickname. She's really fantastic, Pearl. And she is in the process of going to change to bark. So the last potting, I put the moss in with the bark, and slowly I'll pick out. I'm not in a hurry, but slowly the moss will all come out. And so she is looking good. Things are looking good there. Now, Alphinia, she has more flowers coming. She has one ready to open. And she has little signs of good root growth down in here. And her last leaf was very good. So that's good. Now, Minnie Mart, she is getting a new leaf. This is a good sign. I was a little worried about her. She likes more sun, but I'm keeping her in the house still. So that's sort of how I assess these ones I've been babying. Now I want to show you the ones I've been also concerned about before I show you the good ones. So over here, oh, I have to show you our beautiful little Maggie. You stay there and be a good girl. Be a good girl. So now this is my big lip. And what happened last year is she got too much sun, and where this leaf rested on the pot got hot, and it created these marks. Now, the new leaf is looking better, but I'm still sort of protecting a bit. It has good root growth, and I find I have to be more careful with the big lip. And these ones here are very light leaf in color compared to the others, and they should not go in the direct sun either. They have wider leaves and so bigger solar panels, so they can absorb a lot more sun with wider leaves than your narrow leaf orchid. And I've just found that these ones that tend to be lighter seem to not like to be in the sun. So now this one here is one of the it's one I got, I think it was the purple orchid, and I put it in this one. It had lots of flowers, and it has really good root growth. And the leaves are firm, the new leaf coming. This one is still weak. I know some of you say, well, I got limpy leaves. Sometimes we have to be patient, watch the medium, look for signs of, when is it real dry? Is it real dry too soon? Then you have to water it more often. And this is the one I did not cut the spike because I was curious. I've never do that. I let them grow, but it had lots of leaves. It was getting a new leaf, but it's decided to share some flowers even though. So that was an experiment. And these are both looking fine, the ones in the big pot. So they're looking good. So this is a new plant too. Like these are two I put in this pot. Can't remember really. I should have wrote notes, you guys. Write notes. New leaves are looking good. Here could be tiny scale. I have to clean in there with a little toothpick. But there seem to be perking up. And over here, nice new leaf coming. New and nice healthy root growth coming. So this is the one that had an accident. Maggie, stay. Hey, come here. Come here. Come over here. Come over here. Come on. I don't want her to start a big barking. You go on your bed. On your bed. Over here. Come on. Over here. Maggie, over here. And lay down. Over here. Come on. Yeah. Good girl, stay. Yeah, good girl. Because she can bark, So, oh, this is the last one. This is from September 3rd, 2021. And it has a nice new leaf. And this one was limp, and this one limp. But this one's still firm and good root growth. Good root growth in there. Not worried about it. Just patient. This is my amazing one. You know how flowers don't like the heat, they fall off. This has been in the patio since I moved it out here. And it's still doing amazing. Now the only thing I see wrong is I didn't like the shape of this leaf. It looks like it struggled, but I'm leaving it because the growing tip on these roots is very good. So I'm not worried about that one. Now here's the one that got the fat. Tripped on. I gave it a nice new pot because of that. So all the leaves here are firm. It lost a small bottom leaf a while ago, and this one will be coming off soon. But it has very good growing tips. So I'm not worried about it, and I am watering. No, stay. No, no, get over here. This is how I discipline. Over here, and stay. Yeah, good girl. Mom loves you. Okay. So we're not worried about that one. I'm watering twice a week because it is very hot. So this one too, an old wound, but leaves are good. And most of these that I put here, now here's the one I cut the leaf. Now these two, this one and this one, were in that great big pot I was finding too heavy. And then I noticed this leaf had some black mold and I cut it off, put cinnamon on it. Now things are looking good. I say in time we won't notice this. I have one over there I don't notice. And they were in together. So for now this is how they are, separated. And I'm not using that big pot. Maybe for a cymbidium or something in the future. So then we have Dendrobiums. Now, I noticed that Dendrobiums I had in the sun more. And you see this? Too much sun. So, even though the new growth down in here is looking really good, and I do know they lose them, it did get too much sun, and now I have the blind down a little more on the sunny side where they are in the patio. So I'm happy there's lots of new growth in there. And this one, I haven't seen any new growth yet. I'm not happy about that. I wish I could see some new growth coming, but anyway. So, everybody, thanks for joining me. And, you know, it's relaxing coming outside to do the watering, and I quite enjoy it. I just made a peaceful morning of it while my kitchen floor and dining room floor dry. So that's another story for another day. And things always happen in our lives personally, to our health, to the house's health, to everybody. And we just try to keep our mind thinking of good things will come eventually. Maggie and I say goodbye for now. Thank you.